You know what really gets to me? It's when you try to do things right from the start. Be good, be kind, be dependable. And what do you get back? That tired old line, "You're too good for me." Like decency's a curse, like kindness is weakness. And I started thinking, maybe that's why back then men would sack villages, kill the men, take the women. Sounds brutal, right? But it made sense in some twisted, survival-driven way. Those women had no choice but to trust the ones who spared them, to rely on them, and eventually, maybe even love them. Isn't that what Stockholm Syndrome is? People say it's a disorder. I say it's evolution, a survival instinct. And it's ugly, yeah, but it makes sense. When the world around you burns, you find something, someone to hold on to, even if they're the one who lit the match. I'm not saying it's right, but I'm saying it explains a hell of a lot. Think about it. You bring that woman home and your mother, she's thrilled. Why? Because now maybe she'll get grandkids. Because in that world, this was the only path forward. Fast forward to today, women have freedom, options, choices. And that's fine, that's good. But men, especially the lonely ones, they feel powerless, invisible. And maybe that's why some of them, deep down, want war. Not for the blood, not for the chaos, but because it forces connection, dependency, value. In war, everything's survival. There's no ghosting, no playing games, just raw life. You or them. That's why it makes sense, even if it's horrific. That's why some guys fantasize about collapsing societies, because they think it's the only way they'll matter again, but they can't say it out loud. You say stuff like that and people look at you like you're broken. And maybe you are. Hell, maybe we all are. What do we have now? Men sitting alone, watching their girlfriends leave them for guys who treat them like crap. Guys who they know are bad news. But that bad somehow feels like strength. They think he can protect them, that he's dangerous, and danger is sexy. You know what's not sexy? The guy who stayed loyal. The guy who made her soup when she was sick. The guy who came back from deployment only to find she moved on. That's reality. That's our reality. And I've stayed out of relationships because of it. Not because I hate women, but because I can't trust them to stay. And if you can't trust someone to stay, what's the point of starting? There's this belief that the strong survive. But in our world, the manipulative thrive. The ones who step on others, the ones who take. And you tell yourself, if I just do everything right, someone will choose me. No, man, that's not how it works. That's a weakness, that's not strength. If you need to take something by force, it's because you couldn't earn it. And yet, isn't that what so many of us want? A shortcut to being seen, being wanted? That's why young men talk about war like it's salvation. They don't want to kill. They want to matter. They want the world to change because they think that's the only way they can change. But if you can't build something in peace, you won't build anything in war either. Yeah, that's the truth no one wants to say. Because it means the world isn't unfair. It just doesn't care. Maybe that's the hardest part to accept. I'm Vosti Iscariot, one of the Vatican's only sound minds, and perhaps the last who hasn't traded his soul for silence. While others drape themselves in ritual and relics, I walk the marble halls with my eyes wide open. I see what they refuse to name. I hear the whispers behind the choir, and I remember what truth sounds like. They call me difficult, dangerous, damned. But I'm not here for their approval. I never was. I'm here because someone has to stand in the breach between what is holy and what is hollow. Someone has to speak plainly in a place obsessed with mystery. So no, I won't bow. I won't play the game. I'll tell it how it is, clean, cold, and without apology. Because sometimes the only light left comes from the one holding the match.